Hello, my friend. It's the Crypto Lunatic, the channel for crypto newbies. And today I'm going to talk about preparing for what comes next because cryptocurrency is terribly risky. And not only that, it's not for the faint-hearted. So the safest strategy if you're going into crypto is simply just to buy Bitcoin because Bitcoin is the least volatile asset in the entire ecosystem. So if you have a risk profile that is low and you want to invest in crypto, then you need to focus on Bitcoin. So the altcoin market generally follows Bitcoin. Bitcoin goes first. And when Bitcoin market dominance drops, we move into altcoin season. And that's when people can make some crazy gains. Now, people can make crazy gains out there, but the thing is to prepare you because most crypto influencers will talk about the potential upside, but they won't talk about things when things go down. And you have to have a really strong risk profile or tolerance to navigate that sort of stuff. And I can tell you, at certain points, my portfolio has been down up to 60%. So it's just knowing that there's going to be an upside somewhere soon, and you might have to wait. Well, it depends where you got in, but anything up to 4 years for it to pop. So if you're going in thinking you're going to make money next week, that's very risky, and I wouldn't recommend it. My game is to put money in and just forget it, just to leave it. And yes, you have to get used to seeing minus 60% or more sometimes, knowing that one day that some of these coins might pop. Now, a lot of coins in crypto won't pop. They might just be complete rug pulls or scams, especially some of the degen coins that I mention on this channel. But it's really important that you prepare yourself for this because if you can't abide checking your portfolio and seeing big minuses on there during the downtimes or the pullbacks in the market, then you're not going to make it in crypto. So, with all of that in mind, let me take you on a journey of what's happening right now in the market. Let us take you on a journey. So, here is the one that I keep bringing you back to. This is the Bitcoin ETF inflow. Now, what you'll see is that the whales, the funds, have been buying, 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 buying. And look, there's been an outflow. That yesterday there was 346 million outflow. Now, this is how they manipulate the price, and this is why the market is down. And that's why, look, this is the most reliable indicator of Bitcoin price. Just follow where it's green, the gold line goes up, the price of Bitcoin goes up. And when there's red, it falls back down. Look, this is how ETFs manipulate the market. And they just might want some bargain Bitcoins to pull the market down so that they've got another buying opportunity. Now, this is going to happen. But you generally see that, look, there's a lot of money going in here. And yes, there's been a pullback day. Will there be more pullbacks? Well, we don't really know. There's also another thing. There's been speculation at the moment about Warren Buffett, who is a very sophisticated investor in Berkshire Hathaway. And he has been selling and holding a lot of cash in reserve. And some people are speculating that he knows something that we don't, that he's expecting a massive market crash. So this was my little search on what is happening with Warren Buffett. Now, Warren Buffett has been a little bit crypto unfriendly, then he was crypto friendly. He was very unfriendly to it, and then he invested 500 million in a Brazilian crypto bank. So he's been up and down with crypto, but one thing's for certain, he's a very experienced investor, and he has a lot of money on the side here. You can see a big pile of cash, and I asked specifically how much. So it's 347 billion, which is the largest amount of cash that he's had in reserve up until now. So it'd be foolish not to point this data out for you that there is a chance of a massive pullback. But there's more chance at some stage of an uptrend. So you have to decide on your entry points. And this is why dollar cost averaging is generally the way. Now we see over the last 7 days that Bitcoin is down 5.28%. And what I've done is I'm going to put you on the top 500 cryptos just to show you how volatile the market is. So what's happened in 7 days? Well, look, if I click this, You see things like this one, H2O DAO, which you've probably never heard of, or Pocket Network, which you've probably never heard of. Insane gains. And this is probably due to market manipulation. But this is crypto, and this is the game. The people that knew about these are sitting pretty right now. I haven't reviewed either of them, so I can't recommend either of them. But here's the other way to do it. To know that coins that generally pump, if you go the other way and see what's down. So I don't know any of these, but I do know this, WOG. And I do know that when there's an uptrend, that this will likely pump again because it has a history of pumping when the market's up. So something like this now, I believe, would be a good entry point. Now, yes, it could go down, but it could go up. And I just want to highlight this. Look at the chart and look at its history. Now, we know that when the market's up, FOG traditionally has had a really good time. And since I last talked about it, this thing has massively outperformed Bitcoin. Massively outperformed. I think I was talking about it down here somewhere. And look, this thing at one point went up to 10 cents, and now it's retraced a little bit. We've seen that it has been up to 72 cents. Now, I believe something like this. If you're dollar cost averaging and going in today, this is exactly the sort of entry point I'd be looking at. Just here. Could it go down further? Yes, it could. That's the whole point. It could go down further. But it's about timing entry points. And with things like this, because it's a low cap coin, because it's 60 million, it means that even a small amount of money has the potential to have explosive growth if the market goes up. So that's FOG. Now, I'm only done that because that's the first one down here that I've reviewed. So let's do it again. Let's look. And actually, let's go here to 7 days SPX. Now this, for those of you that watched my video on Murad, this was his top coin. Now, even when the market's going down, look, this is overperforming. This is likely to be a very strong asset moving forward. Now, I'm not sitting on any SPX 6900, but I'm sort of wishing that maybe I had at this time, but that's not a good entry time. It's not a good entry time for this. Well, maybe it is. You have to decide. But the point being, you want to find the bargains. And you do that by doing this. And let's go. Well, let's talk about this. This is the top 100. So if you've got a lower risk threshold, looking down here, then it's probably a good entry time for any of these. In fact, any of these. Now, I've done reviews on Sonic and Radium, and I can tell you that Radium is a very solid, profitable project because it's a decentralized exchange. So I would say that this is a good entry point, definitely for Radium, definitely for Sonic. If you're going in today, these ones. Now, if you're into memes, then Fartcoin, let's have a little look. You can't ignore it because the name has really caught on here. And you know that when the market goes up, that this thing's going to go up because it's now hit the point, it's over $1 billion market cap. This is now an established meme coin, and meme coins are notorious for having 80% pullbacks. So you see that it's been up to $2. For me, that's not a good risk reward ratio for the small amounts I put in. So I won't be going into Fartcoin. But Sonic, on the other hand, this one, I want to click on this and bring this to your attention. If you're going in today, this is exactly the sort of entry point I'd be looking for. Sonic. So if we go to all, we see, look, it started life up here, 84. And it's had a bit of a rough run. But the thing is, Sonic is actually making money. Sonic's making money, and this will almost definitely go up. Now, because I've talked about this, we've seen that there's events coming up, that Sonic is going to get promoted, and we've seen that it's profitable at the moment. So these factors lead me to believe that if you've got lower risk in crypto, but you want a sort of a mid-tier risk category, then Sonic is where you're going or where you're looking at the moment. So they are just some of the things to consider, my friends. Firstly, the best strategy in crypto, if you're not a trader, and most people aren't, is just to get in and just leave it. Just leave it and understand that there'll be days you check your portfolio and you're going to see massive minus. But that's the crypto game. That is the game. You have to hold steady when everyone else is losing the plot. And the idea for the big investors is to shake you out of the market. That's what they do. That's why you've got these big sell-offs like there was yesterday to panic everyone, to making you think that the market's going down. Now, the market could easily go down. But the thing is, for little investors, it's a long-term gain or a longer-term gain. And I don't believe that we've hit the top of this bull market yet. I could be wrong. But that is the game, my friends. That is the game. So keep your head. If you're going in, you know what to look for today. There's some potentially really nice entry points at the moment. But of course, it could go down as well. So that's why dollar cost averaging is usually the way, which means just putting small amounts in regularly over a timeline, which means that you will, on average, get good entry points when you look back, especially when the market turns up. So there you go, my friend. As with anything, it's not investment advice. It's just preparation for newbies of what to expect moving forward. And I am the Crypto Lunatic. And if you've enjoyed this content and you're still watching, then please do subscribe to the channel. And if you want another one of my little videos, you will find it just there.